Focus. Probably the hardest thing to do in the world we live in today. Notifications, emails, external noise, breaking news, and the list goes on. Your attention has become the most valuable resource, from which some people have become super rich, and I mean Forbes-level rich. And it's only going to get worse with the rise of new platforms and technology. So in a world with so many distractions, where everyone is fighting for your attention, how do we actually focus? Being able to focus is simply the ability to concentrate for an extended period of time. Studies suggest that humans operate in alertness cycles of 90 minutes. So in a way, breakthrough innovations and most of human progress has come from chasing these brief windows of time. But our ability to stay focused has got worse in the 21st century, with the rise of the internet and pretty much everything moving to online. Whilst working on one task, we're juggling online meetings, emails, instant messaging apps, and of course, randomly checking social media throughout the day. And this precisely is the root cause to the problem, the myth of multitasking. The term multitasking was first published in an IBM paper in 1965 to describe a computer's ability to perform multiple tasks simultaneously. And soon enough, this term became synonymous with humans. But the problem is, the human brain isn't designed to perform multiple tasks at once. And the reality is, neither are computers. It simply switches between programs really quickly, which makes it appear as though it's multitasking. But when we try to do the same, our ability to make meaningful progress in one task becomes next to impossible. And on the face of it, multitasking seems pretty harmless, like replying back to an email whilst working on a PowerPoint, and you might even feel more productive doing so. But the truth is, the continuous context switching between tasks reduces our cognitive ability and actually makes us less productive. So to stay focused, pick one task and only do that one task. But how do we practically do that when every notification seems urgent and the urge to open an unseen message is so irresistible? Here are 3 practical solutions. Method 1, timetable. In school, we had a set timetable. We knew which classes were when, lunchtime was fixed, and home time was 3:15. Well, for me at least. Getting distracted by the class clown is a separate issue, but the idea of not knowing where to put our attention was not really an option, because it was already decided. When it was time for maths, we only had to focus on maths and nothing else. But when we finish school, timetables also stop, and we're left to fill our time ourselves. Even if you're working a 9 to 5, the time during this period is somewhat in your control. You can either reply to emails every 10 minutes, or you can allocate a specific time in the day to clear your inbox, and use the rest of the time for actual productive work. This is also known as time boxing, intentionally carving out time in your day for specific tasks. So during that period, you're just doing that very thing and not brainlessly multitasking. And whilst urgent and unexpected tasks may come up that take you away from your perfect day, but at least you're increasing the odds of you staying productive, rather than getting distracted by every notification. Method 2, alertness windows. So 90 minutes seems to be the alertness cycle for the human brain at the very top end, and this may vary person to person. Some may be able to stay focused for longer, whilst others for much shorter. So why not use this to our advantage when creating our perfect timetable for the day? A popular productivity method is the Pomodoro technique. This was invented in the late 1980s by a university student, Francesco Cirillo, to overcome his struggle with staying focused. And now it's become a key part of the productivity pop culture, with countless apps and videos on this technique. It's simply where you work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break, and then repeat the cycle. Each cycle represents one Pomodoro. Another reason why it's so effective is because the human brain loves working towards goals, and a 25-minute goal is specific and measurable. It's also long enough to get a sizable amount of work done, but also not too long where your mind starts to wander and starts getting distracted by random dance videos on TikTok. And to make this even more effective, turn off all your notifications and just concentrate on that one task for 25 minutes. Now imagine stacking this over a year and ask yourself, how much more productive would you be across all areas of your life? Method 3, get in the flow. During your 25, 45, or 90-minute window, there will come a point where you're completely lost and immersed in your work. You'll become hyper-focused and tuned into the task at hand, where for a brief moment the concept of time will disappear, and this is when you've entered flow state. Musicians experience this on stage and athletes on the field, but as a regular person working a 9 to 5, you can also experience the same. Flow state is achieved when the task you're completing is neither too difficult or easy. Because if it's too easy, you'll get bored, but if it's too difficult, you will feel overwhelmed. So it's within this sweet spot where you'll experience the state of flow. Video games do this very well. This is why each level is progressively more difficult, so as your abilities improve, so does the level of difficulty, keeping you hooked and coming back for more. But flow state is not something which can be forced. It will come to you naturally without you even realizing. And of course, there might be days where you never enter this state, and that's okay too. The key is to control the controllables. Stop multitasking, block out time for deep work, allocate cycles for work and rest, and your ability to focus will be a natural byproduct.